Hi, I'm Johnny Chow, the man with the best hair the world has ever seen. I am your proud host of The Great. Come on, I got a real great contest for you between a returning champion and a newbie who's looking to take that through. Come on, it's going to be a great show. In the left corner, we have Chef Gregory. And in the right corner, we have returning champion, Professor Know-It-All. Gentlemen, take your seats. The first question, where did the Pilgrims land?
Oh, an easy one. The first Pilgrims landed in Plymouth Rock, Arkansas, and they were met with lots of gifts, like oranges and stuff.
No, you idiot! The Pilgrims were supposed to land in Northern Virginia, but due to a navigational error, they landed almost 200 miles north of where they were supposed to land in modern-day Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Meanwhile,
Our next question, what was the Mayflower carrying when it made its voyage to the New World? Chef Gregory, you're up first.
The Mayflower carried flour, and the first pies were made from that.
What? Where did you go to school anyway? The Mayflower carried passengers instead of cargo. The ship was hired to transport 102 passengers, to be exact, and a crew of 25 to 30 people. However, the Mayflower passengers brought many items with them, including biscuits, beer, salt, dried beef, salt pork, oats, peas, wheat butter, and sweet oil. They also brought guns, armor, and napkins.
Meanwhile,
Some spinach. Grandma's got some butter going over there. Potatoes, pearled onions. Grandma's got another pot of butter there. Can't have too much of that.
meanwhile,
Our next question, why is Thanksgiving a federal and national holiday?
See, it started when the Pilgrims brought a turkey, and the Indians brought some fish, it looks like, and they went, "Wanna eat?" "Yes, I do." "Well, let's get started." And that's how it all started.
Sarah Josepha Hale, a writer and editor, campaigned for nearly 17 years to establish a national Thanksgiving, prompting President Abraham Lincoln, you may have heard of him, in 1863 to declare it a holiday during the Civil War to promote unity. And in 1941, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Congress fixed it to the fourth Thursday in November.
meanwhile,
Why do we have turkey on Thanksgiving? Chef Gregory, you'll start again.
Well, as you can see, the first KFC was in Kentucky, and they had chicken, and that's pretty close to Plymouth Rock, Arkansas. So they just started making chicken, and when they ran out, they were like, all right, let's start with turkey, I guess. And we just made it a tradition.
No, no, no! No! Take that away!
The exact bird eaten on the first Thanksgiving is actually unknown. However, according to Alexander Hamilton, a founding father, he once said, "No citizen of the United States shall refrain from eating turkey on Thanksgiving Day." That's why we eat turkey.
Meanwhile,
Ian James on the beat.
meanwhile,
Question number 5. Why is corn served on Thanksgiving?
So one of the Blackfeet Indians guys said, "We need a side dish, so we'll go with some corn."
What?
That's how it got started.
The Wampapong people taught the Pilgrims how to grow crops like corn using fish as fertilizer.
meanwhile, meanwhile,
Now my question to you is, where does stuffing come from anyway?
Well, clearly they needed more stuff on the table, so they stuffed a whole bunch of things into one.
No!
And they called it stuffing.
It's likely that the birds served at the first Thanksgiving in 1621 were stuffed with onions and herbs. Herbs! The Pilgrims likely used ingredients that were readily available to them, such as bread and wild rice. Isn't that interesting?
Our second to last question of the show: why is cranberry served on Thanksgiving?
Well, the natives didn't have can openers, so they didn't know how to get the cranberry sauce out. But when the Pilgrims came, they brought can openers from the Santa Maria, the Penta.
Are you kidding me? The Native Americans used cranberries as a potent red dye. It most likely wasn't even on their first Thanksgiving table.
And we'll be right back after this short commercial break. Thanks for staying with us during that commercial break. Let's see how our game is going. Wow, something smells really good. Well, I guess that's all the time we have today. I'll see you next time on The Greats.
Oh well, good game. Well, I was expecting more of a challenge. Really competitive. Well, Thanksgiving's a time I spend with my loved ones, so that's your cue to go.
Well, you know, something really does smell awfully good in there. I mean, I don't suppose you have another place at the table.
Let's eat.